Bob here with TimeToGo Travel and Timepieces. Today we are getting hit with a little bit of winter, and I thought it'd be the perfect time to do the winter 2017 State of the Collection video. I had done one in the summertime about 6 months ago, and I figured we're due for another one, so let's bring it back inside where it's warm and take a look at the collection. Okay, so this is the collection as it stands so far. I just want to point out there are a couple of fashion watches that I'd received as gifts that were in the first State of the Watch collection video. I decided to leave those ones out, and also I'm wearing one of the pieces from the collection, which is the Tissot PRS 516. I recently did a review of this watch. So I have it broken down into some subcategories. Up in the upper left corner here we have the diver watches. In the upper right we have chronographs. Down here we have some digital pieces. There's a couple of aviation style watches in the middle. I have a field watch here, and then we have some vintage pieces here. So I think I'll start this off with the divers, and I'll grab the one in the top left hand corner here. This is the Oris Aquis. It's the first Swiss dive watch that I ever owned, and it's actually the first watch I ever featured on the channel. I just love the unique design, and this watch gets a ton of wrist time, one of my favorites. Beside that, we have the most recent watch reviewed on the channel, which is the Alpina Extreme Diver 300. I just love having that little pop of orange in the collection, and the movement on this watch is one of the more highly decorated movements in the collection. It's really fun to look at. It's a really great watch. Beside that, we have the Seiko Turtle reissue. This is another really neat design. I love the cushion style case. It has such a nice finish on it, and the gold gilt is really nice as well. Great watch, and it's got such a cool vintage look. I just love it. Beside that, we have the Seiko Monster 3rd Gen. Another watch that kind of surprised me. I had never been a fan of the Monster watches until I had the chance to try one on, and when I did, I just fell in love. And yeah, this is another really great watch. Now, beside the Monster, we have the Orient Ray. Now, this watch is a really great watch. The only issue with it is non-hacking and non-hand winding, and I may upgrade to a Orient Ray 2 or a Mako USA 2. I haven't decided yet, but this one might move along and be upgraded for another Orient dive watch. So since my last State of the Watch collection video, two of my divers have moved on. I've sold the Certina DS Action Diver, which I really love that watch, by the way, as well as the SKX to raise some funds for a watch purchase coming up here very soon. The SKX I will probably be repurchasing at some point in time, but the Pepsi version. The black version that I had was very similar when it comes to the dial as the Turtle, so I decided to move those ones along. Now, the next part of the collection we're going to take a look at is the chronographs. First up is the Schumacher Speedmaster. This watch is limited to 6,000 pieces. I'll just give you guys a look at the case back here. It says Michael Schumacher, the legend. I just love this watch. I'd been looking for a Panda dial watch for a while, and this one almost sort of fell on my lap. It was in perfect condition, so I decided to make the purchase. I did have this in for servicing. There was a little bit of an issue with the chronograph function, and I did document that service, so you can take a look back in the archives and take a look at that video. And the next watch beside that, I ended up purchasing this one because of the Speedmaster. I'd intended on buying the Moon watch, and once I found that Schumacher edition Speedmaster, I bought it, and then to scratch that Moon watch itch, I purchased the Bull of a Moon watch, which I'm really enjoying. It's such a cool watch. On the bottom left, we have three Casio digital watches. Up first, we have the Casio Illuminator. Beside that, we have a Casio World Time, and to the right of that is the Casio data bank. These are just fun little watches. They have some great functions, and sometimes I feel like just having something new on the wrist, and I'll order one of these on Amazon. They're only between $10 and $20, and again, they're just for fun. Now, beside those, we have my Pilot watches. We have the first Swiss watch that I ever owned, which is a Hamilton Khaki Pilot. Just love this watch. It's a little on the larger side, which Pilot's watches should be. It's all dial, which is what I kind of like. It's got some really cool applied hour markers and numerals here on the dial, and just a great little watch. And beside that one, we have the Steinhardt Nav B bronze, and I'd been looking for a bronze watch to add to the collection, and ended up finding it a bit of a deal on this one. So another really cool watch. And beside that, we have the Momentum Steelix. This is a quartz field watch. This is from a Canadian company. I, being from Canada, decided to grab one and feature it on the channel. And this is a really rugged watch with a unique design, and just love it. The last three watches on the list are my vintage pieces, and this is kind of a weakness of mine. I am not an expert when it comes to vintage watches at all. I'm just kind of learning as I go. But the first one we're going to look at here is a piece that my mom and dad had given me for Christmas this past year. This is a Tissot, and according to the numbers on the movement, I believe this is from 1941. Just love that domed crystal, and it is on the smaller side, but one solution is to have a cuff strap, which kind of works and makes it sort of fill out your wrist a little bit more, so I decided to put it on that. Beside that one, we have a Omega Genève, and I mentioned this in a previous video. I found this actually for $20 Canadian at a thrift store. It's got the Omega Caliber 601 movement. Seems to be working fine. It's really clean looking on the inside, and quite like this one. I like the patina on the dial. Up next, we have the first pocket watch that I've ever owned, and I know very little about this. This is a Westclock's Big Ben. I'm going to do some more research on some of these vintage pieces and maybe make a video on them at some point in the future. So that's it for the collection, guys. Let's spin the camera around and we'll wrap up today's video. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure, if you haven't already, to hit that subscribe button. I have a couple of watch videos coming out very soon, as well as a travel video in March. But I have to go. I have a driveway to shovel. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.